Alright guys, we are back for more of this level and more life talk, because I haven't gotten to talk to everybody for a while. So we'll do some more life stories. Last time, most likely yesterday from when these two videos come out, saying about what I hate at work, you know, everything fucked me over. Or maybe I fucked myself over with decisions I made in my life. I'm not going to play the victim here. I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. But, so now we're going to talk about the best thing about my job. And this is going to be a fucking ridiculous story. And it's going to be probably sappy, silly, goofy, whatever. But the best part of my job is I work with the person that I guess we'll call my girlfriend. Her and I have a funny relationship where we're in a relationship but don't really acknowledge it, I guess. Even though we are. She is the one that was on the Surgeon Simulator videos with me from a long time ago. It's episodes 5 and 6 if you want to check it out, if you haven't watched it before. The one that I called the lovely assistant, bullshit like that. But so about a year ago at work now, shit, this is gonna be fucked up. So about a year ago at work, or I guess in a grander overarching story to this, even though everyone says don't date people at work, I am notorious for dating people at work, or especially when you get older. I'm not like a go to the bar and pick up girls kind of person. I'm far from it. I'm sociable but shy, or I'm not aggressive, I guess, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, so a lot of the girlfriends I've had have been from work, or I met them at work, because especially when you work full time, like normal, I guess any full-time job. I'm not gonna say normal, not normal. But when you work 40 hours a week with the same people, obviously that's a lot of time with them. And you spend more time with them than you do your family. You probably spend more time with them than you would almost anybody else in the world. So if you meet someone, shit just starts to happen sometimes. Ooh, oh. Holler. So last year, we were getting pretty close. Those guys signed. We're getting pretty close to around the time, or this time that this all happened in the first place, at the moment. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing there. Just flying by the seat of my pants. Alright, fuck you, can't go there. But, so anyway, about a year ago now, the quote-unquote lovely assistant, I don't want to give her name because she didn't give her name in that. It seems improper to do it now when she has no idea what's going on. This new girl started at work with in the graphics department, and all the people in the graphic designers at where I work use Macs. And for anyone who's ever gone to school for computers, fixes computers for fun, fucks around with computers on the side, Macs aren't super common. Most people don't have Macs unless you're doing like Photoshop, graphic design kind of stuff, video editing, all that kind of bullshit. So at work, whenever we had problems with the Macs, I always just deferred them to the kid that used to work there with me, because I never used Macs really for any sort of business need. So I had no idea what settings were different, how Outlook worked, user accounts were set up, bullshit like that. So I always deferred to this other guy, but eventually he quit, so I had to put on the big boy pants and be like, okay, figure out how the fuck Macs work. So one day, I got the email like, new hire starting in marketing, needs a Mac, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, fuck, I guess this is the time where I definitely need to figure out how the fuck this shit works, because no one else is here to do this. This is on me. So, get the computer set up. Almost everybody in the ARM graphics stuff is female for some reason. So, obviously, I was like, oh, you know, this is the girl's name, blah, blah, blah. I better get ready for this, you know, go make some jokes, say hi the first day. Warn her immediately, hey, by the way, I don't know shit about Macs. This might be, or I guess it's not this might be, this will be an issue, because I can only hope I did this right. If I didn't do it right, there's gonna be a lot of fucking guessing in the future of hey, this doesn't work. Hey, this is how you do this. Oh, you know, how do I do this on the computer? I have no idea. So, in fairness, I was like, introduce myself, like, hi, I'm Toby. I set up your computer. This is how you do this. And then the questions start. Oh, how do I set up the email? I don't know. And then everyone starts laughing because it's ridiculous that the computer person has no fucking clue. And it just starts. That's when nonsense time started, where pretty much from day one, the first 10 minutes, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And with my personality, I guess she realized, like, hey, I can be a fucker to this kid, this guy, whatever, and he'll play back with me. So from pretty much in the first 20-30 minutes after the initial, like, hey, I'm Toby, blah, 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 it was, well, why don't you know Max? The one guy that used to be here used to know Max. Like, not so much the new hire, but all the other girls were giving me a hard time, like, tee-hee-hee, why don't you know what you're doing? So it started this whole shitstorm of sorts of, like, let's pick on Toby for not knowing Max, / hey, this is a good excuse to hang out with this girl all the time. So I saw the other day that I still had a lot of emails from the beginning, because I save all my emails in general at work. But there's tons of emails between me and Lady X, we'll call her, where it was originally simple stuff like, hey, my IMs don't work, can you help me figure this out on Monday? Hey, Excel keeps crashing, can we take a look at this, blah, blah. So of course it was always, yeah, sure, no problem, I'll help you out, you know, have a nice weekend, blah, blah. But there was always her and I are both, I mean, even now, her and I are both always assholes to each other. I mean, it's just our thing, like, we're both really fucking smart-ass people. So we always, like, picked on each other and stuff. But as things went on, as any good relationship does, obviously, we got closer and closer from either acting stupid together all the time or just random bullshit. And then probably, this was all started in May, probably around July, August, somewhere in there. The one day, her and I were just randomly bullshitting on the IM system computer at work, which is what we do almost every day. Either IMs or texts. Like, we're fucking ridiculous with how much we try to talk to each other. What the fuck was I? So, okay, yeah. So the one day, her and I were talking about things on the IM thing, on the IM system, and she was like, hey, you know, this is really bumming me out. And I was like, okay, you know, we kind of bullshitted about what was bothering her, and I was like, yeah, you know, I have think the same things sometimes, like just general, like, hey, this is a real life grown-up conversation. These are our feelings on things, these are our personality types, I guess. And from there, it's slowly, there's a lot of ums, because I'm trying to fucking pay attention to the game too. I apologize. There's a lot of, I guess, from that point on, a lot of growth or bonding or realization that even though we are two different people some ways, we are the two same exact people other ways. And sweet. Oh, okay. From there, we just slowly progressed more and more, where we started talking all the time. Eventually, I added her on Facebook because I'm a pussy, like I said, and it seemed like the best way to quote-unquote get her number without really getting her number. I won't have to worry about her laughing because, in general, my opinion on myself varies a lot. Some days I think I'm, goddamn, that'd be super good in there. Some days I think I'm cool. I guess I'll use the word cool, for lack of a better word. Or some days, like, I enjoy who I am as a person, and some days I don't think of anybody. So I figured if I add her, to go to the Facebook part, I figured if I added her on Facebook, if there was a rejection, it wouldn't be so bad. It'd be like, okay, whatever, it's just fucking Facebook. Or, since Facebook has the IM thing, I was like, okay, I don't have to actually ask her for her number to talk to her after work. I can just Facebook message her and be like, hey, how's your night going, blah, 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 and talk to her that way. This is probably going to be a long episode, I can tell already. So, along those, this is probably September-ish, we'll say. Around that same time, a restaurant, divey restaurant, gas station food place we both liked was opening up by work. So her and I used to joke around about it, and this was when I definitely knew I started liking her. I said, like, well, when this place opens, I'll take you for a hot date there for lunch. And she laughed and was like, sure. And I was like, sweet. Like, I used the word date. She didn't say, like, no, or whatever it was. Yeah, sure, I'll go with you. So I started thinking, like, oh, you know, maybe this doesn't work out after all. Maybe I'm in. Like, this could be something good. So, went to lunch a couple times. Things slowly progressed more and more. And then, at some point, she told me how much she liked Hunger Games. And to me, Hunger Games was always a fuck. Hunger Games was always a fuck. Hunger Games was a ripoff of Battle Royale, which is an old Japanese horror movie where, like, class of school kids are trapped on an island, or all the bad kids, I think it was, and they pretty much have to fight. The last one that survives gets to go back to normal land. It's called the Battle Royale Act in the movie, where it was basically, I really think it was just all the bad kids, or maybe just a class of kids was chosen every year. But Hunger Games, when I knew what it was, seemed like the same thing. It was, okay, there's these kids that get chosen for these games where they have to kill each other, blah, blah, blah. But we would joke around about it a lot. And again, with the old emails I found with her and I, there was one about, fuck, ugh! There was one about, I'm gonna get you like Hunger Games at some point. Haha, smiley face, whatever it was. So I was kind of laughing, and I was like, yeah, I doubt that, whatever. But then her and I started hanging out. And the one night she was over, we watched Hunger Games. And I was like, hey, this isn't that bad of a movie. And the whole point of her getting me to like Hunger Games in the first place was one of the other quote-unquote date jokes we made was I was supposed to take her to see Catching Fire when it came out in theaters. This episode's going to be called, I don't know, Relationship Talk, I guess? If this is boring, I apologize. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point. Fuck was I? Yeah, so we watched Hunger Games. I was like, hey, this movie's not that bad. You know, she really likes it. It's fun, you know, something to talk about, bond over, blah, blah. What the fuck? I'm so... Alright, hold on. Gotta keep my train of thought. So that was the next step. Like, hey, Hunger Games, we'll watch this, we'll hang out through this. And pretty much from around there, maybe a little before, like, her and I were always together. She'd come over once or twice a week. And around the same time was when I was trying to leave my job the first time. This is where this was going, about my job. So around the same time that Hunger Games came out and all the other stuff was when I was trying to leave my job last year. I hit a point where I wasn't getting paid enough for what I was doing. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm going to fucking do something with myself. I'm going to get a career. I'm going to make real money so I can, you know, improve my house, feel like I'm worthwhile in my own eyes, like making a living, bullshit like that. So around that time was when I still wasn't 100% sure about her and I, but I had a pretty good idea. And so I would talk to her about it, like, hey, you know, I have my interview today, I'm doing this today, blah, blah, blah. And that was the time when I started to figure out, like, hey, you know, this might be something, because she would do what I'm going to call a silly girly type thing. And of course, no offense to girls, because if it was the other way around, I probably would have did it too. How the fuck did you do this one? Actually, I'm gonna. I tell her, like, okay, I'm leaving early for my interview today, I'll talk to you later, I'll see you tomorrow, blah, blah. And then she'd give me shit for good luck, but not really, well, and I don't want to keep saying blah, blah. She'd be like, good luck, but not really, because she didn't want me to leave. Because her and I, when either of us are having bad days, like, she is what grounds me while I'm at work. I can just be like, yo, boss is being a dick, your boss is a bitch, so-and-so is a fucker, like, whatever I want. And I always have, like, no matter where I am, I have my support system, and it's always the same person. If we're at home, I can complain to her, I'm having a bad day. If we are at work, she is just an IM or a phone call or a 100-foot walk away, and it's fantastic. It's obviously, if there's ever issues with her and I, it sucks at work because I still see her all day. I have to fix her computer if it breaks, even when we're fighting. But as a whole, it's awesome. Like, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world. That pretty much one of my best friends works with me. I see her all the time after work. It's just an awesome thing. And that's my favorite part about work. This is a really weird tangent, I guess, and I don't know where the story was supposed to go. I don't know. It was half like how her and I started dating, I guess, and half what keeps me sane at work. Either way, she's awesome. The other day, I put on Twitter. She brought a smoothie to work for me because I have the worst eating habits in the world. I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat good food for lunch. I usually go to fucking Wawa for lunch and have like a hoagie or some other disgusting lunch. And I don't eat dinner a lot either, and I don't know why. I'm not anorexic. I don't have an eating disorder. Like when I eat like a fucking savage. I don't throw it up or anything weird like that. I guess it's like an anxiety thing or a stress thing where I just don't want to eat most of the time. But so she brought me a smoothie to work, and I learned from Clerks a long time ago, which if you've never seen the movie Clerks, you should. If a girl brings you lasagna to work, that means she's a keeper. There's not many women in the world that will do that for you. And while she didn't bring me lasagna, she brought me a smoothie, which was awesome and shows that she obviously really cares. So, yeah. That's my little thing that makes work not suck. And I feel like this story was supposed to go somewhere different than that. And then it all got mishmashed together. And some other weird shit happened there. But I'm trying not to be as negative, I guess was the point of today's, after bitching yesterday about work pissing me off and nonsense like that. I'm a happy person, is I guess what we're going for here. Or, while things piss me off, it's usually work, and outside of work, like for YouTube and for life and for everything else. As a whole, life's pretty awesome. I try to be positive. I try not to bitch all the time. Sometimes it feels good to be like, work's a huge pile of shit. My boss can suck my fucking dick. I fucking hate you. And I go home and be like, I have someone to Skype date with. I have a dog who loves me and just wants to hang out with me all day when I get home. Like, things could definitely be way worse than they are. But, sorry. Life talks are the hardest when trying to fucking play this game. Yeah. So I guess the point of the other stories was everyone has ups and downs. There's good and bad to everything. Enjoy everything while you can, while it lasts. Other than Super Meat Boy. I can't wait till this shit's over. Now that I'm done rambling for the day, I guess, about what I like about work / my girlfriend, kind of, maybe a little bit. Tomorrow, we will try to finish this shit up, and I will talk to you guys later. Lates.